All right, guys, I'm going to do a couple problems from your assignment just so you could see it based on how I would do it in comparison to the notes. So we'll just go through some of the odd ones. So number one, what you're going to do is we're going to multiply the factored form. So we're going to multiply this guy out, and then we're going to check, does it equal this guy? So does the factored form equal our polynomial here? So remember, to multiply, we're going to use distributive property. So this times this, 3 times 4 is 12. X times x, that's going to give me x squared. Then we go here, 3x times negative 5. 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. And then we just have an x. So we are done with that guy. And then we're going to do the same thing here. 1 times 4x, that's positive 4x. And then 1 times negative 5, that is going to give me negative 5. And then this next step, we want to combine like terms. So we're going to combine these terms here. Okay, so 12x squared, there's nothing to combine with 12x squared. Negative 15x and positive 4x, that gives me negative 11x. And then bring down the negative 5. So, as you can see, this is the same as this. Okay, so in other words, we're just checking the work. Was this factored correctly? Okay. All right, let's go to the next section. We are actually going to factor the following if possible. Okay, I know on the notes they did the factor by grouping method. Okay, but when we were in class together, we learned a different method. So I'm going to show you the method that we remember from class, and that's the snowflake method. So we're going to use this method. The top is A times C. Remember, here's my A, here's my C, and this guy is my B. So 8 times C, which is going to be 5 times negative 2, is negative 10. That goes on top. My B value goes on bottom. So my B value is negative 9. Okay. In these spots here and here, we're going to split our x apart. So it's going to be x and x. And then we also put our coefficient that we have. Where's that? Right here, 5. Okay, so we put our A value there as well. And now we just got to fill in these blanks here. What multiplies to negative 10? That adds up to negative 9. And that answer should be negative 10 and negative 1. Sorry, my mistake. That's not the correct answer. So it's going to be negative 10 and positive 1. All right. So you look, negative 10 times 1, negative 10, negative 10 and positive 1, that's negative 9. So now what we want to do is put this into factored form. So we look here, 5x and negative 10, can I reduce? And you sure can. We are going to reduce by 5. So when I say reduce, think of division. We're going to divide by 5 here. That leaves me with 1x. And if we divide by 5 here, that leaves me with negative 2. Okay, and that's going to go in the first parentheses. So 1x minus 2. And then we go ahead and do the same here. 5x and 1, can I reduce or divide by the same number? And the answer is no, so we leave it as 5x plus 1. Okay, so this is my answer for factors form. And now we're just going to check it. So to check it, we are going to multiply it. All right, let's check our answer. So to check your answer, we're going to take x minus 2 and then 5x plus 1. And we're going to distribute just like we did before. That gives me 5x squared. X times 1 is plus x. And then negative 2 times 5x, that's negative 10x. And then negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. And then we combine like terms. So if I combine like terms, that's going to give me 5x squared minus 9x minus 2. And then just check, is what we got here the same as this? If it is, then we factored correctly. All right. Let's go here to the next section where we're going to solve the following by factoring. So let's do number 11. Number 11, we're going to factor first. Again, we're going to use the snowflake method. So the snowflake method, a times c. So 3 times negative 8, that's negative 24. Our b value is 10. And then we're going to split the x squareds. So the a value with the x squared split, and we get that. And now we have to fill in the blanks. What multiplies the negative 24, that adds up to positive 10. And that answer is going to be 12 and negative 2. Okay, so 12 times negative 2, negative 24. 12 and negative 2, positive 10. And now we're going to put this into factors form. Keep in mind we have this equal to 0 now because we're going to solve. So we look here, I can reduce 3 and 12. We're going to reduce it by 3. So I'm going to divide the top by 3 and I get 1x. Divide the bottom by 3 and I get 4. Okay, so that's going to give me x plus 4. Keep your signs, or be careful with your signs. And then our next one cannot be reduced, 3 and negative 2. So we just put 3x minus 2. Okay, so we have factored, but now we need to solve. Remember, once you factor completely, which we have done, you put each factor that has a variable in it equal to 0. So now I'm going to put each factor equal to 0. So x plus 4 equal to 0. 3x minus 2 equal to 0. And solve from there. So we subtract by 4. X equal to negative 4. Over here to solve, we're going to add 2. And we get 3x equal to 2, and then divide by 3. X equals 2/3, and you have 2 answers here. Okay. Let's go ahead and do number 15. So before we start number 15, we got to get everything in standard form, which means I need to keep the x squared stuff positive. So I need to move these two guys to the left. So I can't just move them. I'm going to add them over, or opposite sign over. So it's negative 11x. To add it over is positive 11x, and then we're going to add 2 as well. Okay, so these would cancel out, which would give me 0. And then we're going to go ahead and simplify this. Remember, 12x squared and 11x cannot combine. So it's going to be 12x squared plus 11x, and then plus 2, all equal to 0. Okay, so now I have my problem. Let's go ahead and solve it out. I'm going to erase 16 just for room's sake. Okay, so I'm going to factor using snowflake method again. Do this a little faster. We got 24 on top, 11 on the bottom. Split the x, so it's going to be 12x here and 12x here. What multiplies to 24 that adds up to 11? That's going to be 8 and 3. Okay, we're going to reduce if possible, and we can reduce here by 4. So 12x divided by 4, that's 3x. 8 divided by 4, that's 2. Okay, and then we also can reduce here. We could reduce by 3 here. So 12x reduced by 3, that's 4x. And 3 reduced by 3 is 1. Okay, so let's put those in our parentheses. All equal to 0. And that's going to be 3x plus 2 in one factor. And then 4x plus 1 in another factor. And then to solve, we're going to put each of them equal to 0. So 3x plus 2 equal to 0. 4x plus 1 equal to 0. Let's solve. Subtract 2. 3x equals to negative 2. And then we divide by 3. Okay. So one of my answers, let's erase this for now. Oops. So this factor turns into x equals negative 2/3. And let's do this factor over here, just to have a little more room. So we're going to go 4x plus 1 equal to 0. Minus 1 here. 4x equals to negative 1. Divide by 4. X equals negative 1/4. All right. That should do it. Have a good one.